Jai Sri Ram, welcome everybody. Welcome Vinay ji. Thank you for joining us. And today the subject is very, very interesting. Germany trashes Canadian PM Justin Trudeau. Left, right, and center. You had to see the video, it will blow your mind. Okay? Unbelievable. The man getting trashed by every foreign country in the world. It looks like unbelievable. Click. Watch our discussion with political analyst Vinay ji is here, and Trudeau dragging our. We have a question also. That is Trudeau dragging Canada and Canadians and their reputation with him down to the drain. Okay, what do you think? Let us know. And but before going further, friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can, and also make sure to subscribe the channel if you didn't already, and press the notification bell so that you can stay connected with us as we go live and get notified. And ask any question, come and join us and ask any questions, and give your feedback, and become the part of the conversation. Also, we do send out one dharmic message every day. You can now get it by sending a WhatsApp to +16479644790 with your name, where you are from, what language you want in, because we do support many regional languages in Bharat. Okay, so that you and your family can be staying connected with the roots of Sanatan Dharma and prosper. Vinay ji, thank you for joining us. I'm going to show you a video, Vinay ji. It will just blow your mind. Okay.
Yeah.
And see here. Then we will.
It would have been more appropriate for Mr. Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, to address this House according to Article 144, an article which was specifically designed to debate violations of human rights, democracy, and the rule of law, which is clearly the case with Mr. Trudeau. Then again, a Prime Minister who openly admires the Chinese basic dictatorship, who tramples on fundamental rights by persecuting and criminalizing his own citizens as terrorists just because they dared to stand up to his perverted concept of democracy, should not be allowed to speak in this House at all. Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for...
Well, it's unbelievable how she is talking. Let me play
Trudeau,
one more
Prime
time.
Minister of Canada, to address this House according to Article 144, an article which was specifically designed to debate violations of human rights, democracy, and the rule of law, which is clearly the case with Mr. Trudeau. Then again, a Prime Minister who openly admires the Chinese basic dictatorship, who tramples on fundamental rights by persecuting and criminalizing his own citizens as terrorists just because they dared to stand up to his perverted concept of democracy, should not be allowed to speak in this House at all. Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for any democracy. Please spare.
Wow, this is powerful. Vinay ji, Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for any democracy.
Yeah.
Okay, another member from Mislav, another lashed out loud against Trudeau, and Canada has become the symbol of civil rights violation. How do you find it?
No, actually, this particular speech was from last year, during, I think it was from March 2022. Okay. So when the Freedom Rally happened, and all this stuff that happened with the Freedom Truckers that actually congregated in Ottawa and started protesting, and it was a very mild protest, nothing harmful, harmless protest that was non-violent. They were just parked in Ottawa, and Trudeau basically brought in the emergency, declared emergency in Canada, and then
and also his buddy supported him.
Or Jagmeet Singh?
Yeah. Bed buddy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, like
And
Jagmeet Singh is not his buddy; he is his godfather. Because I mean, like Jagmeet Singh is the one who actually, although he has got only a few MPs supporting the government, Mr. Trudeau is indebted to Jagmeet Singh, and he is basically a toy, a puppet in Jagmeet Singh's
but
hands.
only one thing I will suggest, Vinayji, before you continue. This is right after. This is right after both these guys criticized India, and now the reports are coming out. We will be doing a video on it. How the diplomats of Canada were using the farmers' protest and the what you call the CAA protest, okay, for giving visas, sending in people, and how they were coordinating, for which the people, diplomats, have been kicked out. And
We This is a fantastic point you brought up because ironically, when countries are allegedly persecuting certain group of people, these group of people actually use all kinds of means and ways to escape from this country and seek refuge in another country. They come in as refugees to Canada, US, and Europe and whatever. But in this case, en masse, many people, from the Muslim community during the CAA protest, and many people from the Punjabi community, that the Sikh community, who said they were being persecuted due to the they voicing about the farmer protest and stuff like that. They were given legal documents to immigrate to Canada. Can you believe this? I mean, like, these are the guys. Typically, Canada, there was a time when Canada, to get into Canada, you had to go through a point system. You have to be extremely, well spoken in a couple of, the official languages of Canada, either English or French. You got to have a certain qualification. You got to have certain work experience, and they count all that and give you 70 points and say, okay, you're eligible to come. But these group of people were basically the I'm talking about the 41 diplomats who actually got expelled from India. They were giving visas left, right, and center. Not just visas, actually status in this country for people to immigrate. So this is the unfortunate part, and
and
obviously the
also,
reason they got
yep,
expelled.
and also they were kind of facilitating the people to come into Canada to badmouth India from the rally. That was
Oh,
also
yeah, yeah.
happening on the
And,
other
and
hand.
they also had a spy network in India. Anything that was going on in the farm. I mean, who was feeding all the information to Mr. Trudeau and the Liberals and Jagmeet Singh? It was all these diplomats who were pretending to be the diplomatic. Oh, we are all diplomats and blah blah blah. But it was happening in Shaheen Bagh and in New Delhi, and all the farmer protests that was happening was all there. And these diplomats used to just take a walk, take some pictures, take all the stuff, and then go back and report saying, "Oh my God, these guys are going through so much bad time," and it's like that, right? Like so what do you do? Like I
You
heard about.
And they got kicked out now because they messed up with the wrong person at the wrong time, and they got kicked out. 41. Justin Trudeau was crying, kiki kiki. But the thing is, this lady is amazing, from Germany,
Yeah.
sitting MP. Okay, she goes on to trash him like anything.
Oh yeah, because you know what? It's not just once or twice. Earlier this year as well. The basically she came to Canada and basically talked about what was going on with the with stuff here, right? Like for example, on February 18th. She was Christine Anderson, was given a white hat by Arthur Pawlowski at the Calgary Petroleum Club, and she's the member of European Parliament. This is February of this year, And basically, she said, "I've never ever in my life traveled anywhere and have been made so welcome." And these were all party leaders from Liberal Party, and Trudeau had nothing to comment, because I mean, like, these are the leaders. This is the same lady who trashed Trudeau the previous year, and now she's being welcomed by Liberal leaders, and Calgary mayor took to social media to clarify that neither that the hat was not given to by them to Anderson, because it became a little big deal. But these are the guys who actually gave it to her, and welcomed her, and stuff like that, right? So it's unfortunate that these guys are backing off, and even she did not. I mean, like, Polivier actually, kind of took a little a back step, because she apparently met with three of the caucus members from Conservative Party, and basically the MPs. Leslyn Lewis, Dean Allison, and Colin Kerry met with Christine Anderson for a lunch, and they talked about the Freedom Convoy. They talked about the liberal stuff and all that stuff that was going on, and it's unfortunate that people are not accepting this, because I mean they live in some kind of a la land, I should say.
And Polivier called him a carbon hypocrite. Okay, and means you talk about all the time like a buzzword, freedom of speech, but you are the same person who beat up the woman, housewives and children in the freedom rally, and stole their money from the bank by bringing you and your buddy. What do you say about it? What do you say about the opposition leader calling him a carbon hypocrite?
Well, Polivier has got some nice words for Trudeau, and you got to listen to him now. Yesterday I was listening to a debate that was going on in the Parliament, and Polivier asked some simple questions, and Mr. Trudeau again was dodging those questions, never answered those right. And it's frustrating after 3 or 4 times repeating yourself, and this man is going off on a totally different rant. And
you cannot blame him for it, because he asked about one of the scams, but he misunderstood. He's talking about the other scams. He has so many on the list.
Like, the thing is, and Polivier corrected him. He said, "You know what? I'm talking about both the scams. I'm thanks for bringing up the what is that? The app for the Canada thing, right? Like, to come into Canada during the COVID time. Okay, they created an app, and that app was almost 500 times more expensive than what you would pay for a normal app. And the Liberal Party, and obviously under the leadership of Trudeau, and the aegis of Canadian government, they funded it, and it was all taxpayers' money, and God knows how much went into the consultants and her pocket, and how much went into Liberal Party's pockets. God knows.
But you have to agree one thing. He gives back a lot of money to the Canadians.
Like what?
Like this, carbon tax benefit rebate, and this mortgage increase. So for that rebate, grocery price increase. So I will give you the money back for the grocery. Who will do that?
Oh God, please. So you I mean, like, yesterday, Polivier also was saying about Jagmeet Singh, right? He's apparently proposing the carbon tax implementation, and then on one side they're implementing carbon tax, and on another side they're saying, okay, we'll give you some relief for carbon tax. But the thing is, what carbon tax is doing is it's basically increasing the logistics cost for bringing in stuff to the grocery stores and whatever. And now, as a result of that, grocery stores are now hiking up their prices on groceries, and that's causing in turn inflation. And then everybody is blaming, oh my god, Canada is in inflation, and now they increase the interest rate. But who is responsible for this? You got to understand that other than Mr. Trudeau and Mr. Jagmeet Singh, there's nobody else responsible for what's happening in Canada. Today, the inflation is as a result of carbon tax implementation. Today, the price of food is as a result of carbon tax implementation, and it's a disaster here.
But do you agree with what she is saying? She is just
More
going
appropriate for
overboard.
Mr. Trudeau, Prime Minister of
Thank you.
Canada, to address this House according to Article 144, an article which was specifically designed to debate violations of human rights, democracy, and the rule of law, which is clearly the case with Mr. Trudeau. Then again, a prime minister who openly admires the Chinese basic dictatorship, who tramples on fundamental rights by persecuting and criminalizing his own citizens as terrorists just because they dared to stand up to his perverted concept of democracy, should not be allowed to speak in this House at all. Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace for
Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace. So you cannot be allowed to talk here. Means is she kind of in a way acknowledging what the opposition leader says? You are talking all the time about freedom of speech and you are a carbon hypocrite.
Exactly, because you know what? It's only gotten worse. Okay, this was in March 2022, a year ago, more than a year ago. Okay, and at the time it was the Freedom Rally. It was all the Arrive Canada, Arrive Can app, and all
Arrive
that
Can
stuff.
app, yes.
Yeah. So all these things had just started, and then the SNC Lavalin, that was another big thing that kind of got kiboshed, because he basically told the
Come on. You cannot say. I go through some of the major newspapers in Canada. They don't talk about it. They talk about how handsome Justin Trudeau still looks like. Even you can see today's Toronto Star. They talk about he still looks handsome, and that is a one good reason to vote for Trudeau.
Yeah, because the thing is, if they say anything one word against Trudeau, their funding will be cut off. They'll lose jobs. They'll have to shut down Toronto Star. They'll have to shut down Global News. They'll have to shut down CBC. They'll have to shut down CP24. They'll have to shut down CTV. They'll have to shut down National Post. They'll have to shut down so many other things. So please, journalism is not what you think it is here in Canada. So yeah, it's basically been bought over. Okay. So the real in reality,
and Jagmeet Singh also thinks Justin Trudeau is handsome, so they can get.
Maybe there is something. You know what? I'll tell you something. Okay. Yesterday I was watching another video, and there were rumors that the reason why Justin Trudeau left his wife was either because he's gay, or he's got an affair with another person. And his wife already, it's kind of going around in circles that she has an affair with Idris Elba, who's Hollywood actor. And then there's another rumor that's going around that Mr. Trudeau has an affair with Melanie Jolie, who's his foreign minister. And that was the rumor that's going around. And apparently there's another rumor that's going around that he's gay as well. So we don't know. Like, I'm not even sure. I'm not. This is not coming from me. I'm just talking about the video. So obviously, don't blame me if for
yeah, means come on. I know if you talk about Melanie Jolie, probably Jagmeet Singh may get offended. So you should not.
I'm not sure. So basically, the thing is, coming back to your point. We got to keep in mind that. A lot of things have cascaded, and RCMP commissioner was not allowed to investigate any further on the SNC Lavalin. And then so this is what Polivier was asking about. So and then it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. and then he talked about, oh, China is a great dictatorship and blah 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 and all that. He appreciated China, and that's
And
exactly
this is just before Z slapped him.
exactly. This is what Christine Anderson is talking about. And this year, exactly what has happened. Like, the chaos he created with the letting the Khalistanis loose in Canada, the money laundering, and even the United States has basically said that Canada is actually money laundering, and they basically said that he's on a bad list as well. I mean, like, Canada is on the bad list because, I mean, like, they're encouraging money laundering, and they're funding terrorism and funding terrorists and all this. I mean, this is not new. I mean, you just showed a picture of this man dressed in as a black person, right? So this is his goes back to history as a, like, it's in his blood, I should say. I mean, like, the senior Trudeau was
just
like that.
you cannot jump this much on Justin Trudeau. Vinay, he was a drama teacher and he is acting here. What's your problem? He was just putting a black face.
One thing you do in drama or whatever, right? You don't pretend to be. I mean, especially profiling racially is not a good thing for somebody. So basically, he's portraying himself as a black person here, and that's a racial profiling, right? Like, and that's not good. I mean, they wanted a black person, they should have brought a black person into it. And
he has such a tender heart. Vinayji, he has such a tender heart. He doesn't even want to hear the word manhood. He wants to, he doesn't want to hear mankind. He says people kind.
Yeah,
He's appropriate and inclusive. And you call him a racist? This is too much.
Well, he should be talking to the Arkansas governor, which we'll be making another video on soon. And that lady basically doesn't appreciate any of that, because I'm like, what, facts are facts. It's mankind, humankind, whatever you want to call. What is this people and people but women's pregnancy or people's pregnancy or whatever,
Absolutely. But let me come to the last word. Okay. Do you think it is even respectful for a foreign delegate from German to call Trudeau by name, saying that you saw the video? She says, "Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace to any democracy. Please spare us your presence." Is that thing she has been respectful?
Absolutely, because I'm going to fast forward to October 2023, which is about 20 days ago. The same lady, German member of European Parliament, Christine Anderson, spoke about central bank digital currencies and warned about frozen bank accounts in Canada. Okay. And to recall, she mentioned about the Freedom Convoy in 2022, where Prime Minister Trudeau and the Liberal government froze bank accounts of about...
Along with Jagmeet Singh.
Yeah,
he signatured it too.
So Anderson, who has criticized Trudeau in the past, used the frozen bank accounts example as a warning against allowing government-run central banks to take over people's money. Okay, so she basically said, if you don't comply, they'll just shut down your bank account. And it's not like it hasn't happened before. And in Canada, there are many people standing up for their freedom, for the right not to get some some unknown substance injected into their arms. They shut down their bank account. So if there was no cash, what are you going to do? They can just eliminate you with flip of a switch. It's as simple as that. So it's not a conspiracy theory. It's happened. Okay, we know it's happened, and this is the problem with the thing. And she said, if there's one thing the bank really fears right now, it's cash. Because as long as there is cash, there's always the possibility of the most feared thing in banks ever, a bank run. But if there's no cash anymore, you don't have to deal with bank runs anymore, because that would blow off the lid on the whole thing. Because once people start realizing they can't get their money out of the bank, it's impossible. So I mean, like, basically what she was also talking about is money laundering that goes on in Canada. Basically, freezing bank accounts of people that they, the way the government works here is they freeze bank accounts of people that they don't like, but the ones that they like, they allow them to do money laundering, terrorist funding, practice AK-47 shooting, firing, and in the forests of British Columbia. And then, if a killing happens, rather than blaming their own security system in the country, their own safety in the country, and their own crime rate in the country, they blame another country.
No, please. He gets a report from Five Eye, so please don't jump in there. He gets Five Eye reviews and reports. So I'm sure he knows something which you and me don't know.
Yeah,
don't you think so? Like he brought the Nazi to the parliament after the vetting by the Five Eye, and of course he was the first one to come in open and say that Gaza hospital was bombed by Israel. And his tweet is still there. Okay, exactly. His foreign minister and his tweet.
He's letting
and Jagmeet Singh, all three of them tweeted, and it is still there. They didn't delete it. They didn't edit it. Nothing.
And then basically they're still letting the Hamas supporters loose in Canada, and those guys are going all out. And what can you do about it? And you can't do anything because they're free to do whatever under this name of freedom of speech, freedom of expression. You're allowed to do anything in Canada.
Yeah. But sir, freedom of speech in Canada reserved to only a section that can sleep with the liberandos.
Exactly.
Okay. What do you think, folks? That's what Vinayji says. I'm just rephrasing it. And, what do you think? Thank you, Vinayji, for joining us and pouring your heart as always. Friends, what do you think about it? Huge. Germany trashes Canadian PM Justin Trudeau. The German politician calls Mr. Trudeau, you are a disgrace to the democracy. Please spare us from your presence. Do you think she is right, wrong? Is it being respectful? Do comment and let us know. We will love to hear from you, and see you in the next video. Till then, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sri Ram, Vinayji.